Hey, Mark's watching MTC Media. So, there are plenty of people who do sports picks, handicapping, so on and so forth. I actually do it, and I do it on a small level for entertainment purposes only. In fact, that used to be the name of any and all of my sports columns was for entertainment purposes only. Simply because I'm not an advantage handicapper. I'm not one of these guys on VSiN or Sports Grid and stuff that they have on guys who do this professionally, do it for a living, so on and so forth. These are my picks. And you can see all whether they're successful that week, not successful that week. I am going to do something this year where we're going to keep the percentages over an entire season. That will be later because the magic number is generally 56%. If you can hit 56% of your picks, like over a season betting at a certain denomination, obviously you can make a ton of money. So that's the magic number, 56%. Now I'm going to do a challenge this fall during the football season, since that's what mostly everyone is interested in when it comes to sports gambling, at least for the casual person, and see if we how close we get to the 56%. Don't know if we're going to get to the 56%, but how close I get to the 56%. So this is all to be said is that I try to put everything in context, right? I bring this up because there is an account on TikTok which I like to follow, simply because what they do is they'll go and buy a subscription behind a paywall, and they won't give you their picks ahead of time, so they're not paying for the picks and then giving it and sharing it. What they're saying is they'll buy a subscription, and over time they'll just see how accurate this handicapper is or isn't. And so with one of the accounts that they bought from, the guy sends back a what looks like a hand typed. I looked up some template on the internet thing saying, "Oh, if you tell people what my record is or the results of my picks, then you are liable. I'll sue you in court, not only for a flat fee, but then I sue for every view that you received on that particular post on TikTok." Stuff that obviously hasn't been vetted by a lawyer. Again, is someone who grabbed a template off of the internet, and that leads me to what I want to say about gambling in America. Um, that has been so disappointing with sports gambling is that only thing it did was open up a an industry of what I like to call entertainment handicappers. I put myself in that category. This is not Pete Axelm. This is not Jimmy the Greek, which are kind of two of the people I grew up with. It's not legitimate people like Anita Marks. It's not the guys off of VSiN. It's not the guys off of Sports Grid. The ones that do this for a living. The ones that talk to advantage bettors. That have been acknowledged by the casinos that are advantage bettors and all of those things. Those are the guys that if you're going to pay for someone, those are the guys you should be paying for because they actually are providing a service. Everybody else is entertainment. But here you have these guys who are sitting around there and just want to turn this into a quick buck. Well, I should be able to go 1-40. You should not be able to tell anyone I went 1-40, because if people knew I went 1-40, no one would subscribe to my BS. And that's just not how it works. And that's not how it should work. And I'm sure nothing he typed would uphold in court, nor should it uphold in court. But it just goes to tell you, there's just too many people in this country that have treated gambling as the next scam. And when you have such an addictive or potentially addictive action that you're just playing it off as a scam and then trying to use some mumbo jumbo BS of I can sue you if you let anyone know it's a scam, it's just awful, man. It's just one of many things that has really, really, really um, turned off people to the sports gambling industry, when prior to all these states putting in the being able to gamble online, and that on top of just all of the accounts of people claiming that they are somehow these advantage players. It's just awful, man. If you are a guy like me, just say, hey man, here's my picks, go with them if you want. If you don't want to, fade me, and just have fun with it, as opposed to the mumbo jumbo that I'm seeing out of this particular clown.